Hola. So, I had a lot of fun in this election. You know, I'm not crazy about the turnout, but I had a lot of fun during the election just for the simple fact that I had a party to vote for. Jeez. So, you know, a lot of the stuff I've been doing, you know, I'm pretty serious about, you know, especially the way the establishment is divided, you know, our native cousins between the voyageurs, settlers, you know, migrants to this land. And, you know, they, honestly, that division is not going to be healed very soon. And there is going to be, you know, probably a greater divide. Before I get into people kind, you people, how can you have people kind and then have somebody discriminated against or, you know, prejudged for saying you people? Like, what is it? Do we have people kind or not? Right? So, anyways. I was just laughing about that. You know, Don Cherry, love him or hate him, I mean, he is a Canadian icon, and he's a man, and yeah, whatever. He's a Canadian man. You know, which brings me to a serious subject here. Now, over the years, we've noticed different.
Just fucking do it.
Oh, hey. Over the years, we've been able to relate and identify certain phobias, right? Like, you know, back in the 70s and stuff, it was homophobia, right? Okay. Now, there's, of course, transphobe. There's asexual phobe, which most asexual phobes have a phobia against eunuchs, because eunuchs are old stock asexual, and so they're asexual phobes, right, have a eunuch phobia. But the real phobia that's coming to light now, there's a lot of hatred being promoted, and being promoted by the establishment, being promoted by special interest groups. And it's brought to light a very serious illness called caucaphobia. Caucaphobia. It's a real thing. And so instead of recognizing the phobia, it's being promoted as something normal, and this is a phobia that is, you know, taken over a good percentage of the country, even to the point where the caugaphobe is progressed in folks that caugaphobe attacks. You say, what the hell is caugaphobe? Well, it's the phobia of white or Caucasian masculine people, and so, like I say, I mean, it's taken the effect even on Caucasian masculine folks that hate themselves, and so this is a real phobia, and I believe that there should be, you know, some special interest groups and some government grants so that we can nip this in the bud. Because the next thing you know, people will be hanging themselves because of this phobia. They walk down the street, because of this phobia, they'll even start attacking little old ladies trying to cross the street with this, because they're so taken over by this phobia. Caucaphobia. It's a real thing. All right. I know it's crazy, but I see it everywhere. I see it everywhere. I believe that Caucaphobia has taken over the state propaganda center. The Communist Broadcasting Corporation. Now this whiteboard's supposed to be one of those ones where you just wipe it and it comes clean. Well, it never frickin' work. Bought the right pens. And I use this board for if I'm just calculating like spring heights and stuff when I'm doing heads and stuff. And, okay. So if you can't look yourself in the mirror in the morning, and these are a few of the things, like if you wish to identify with this phobia, to see if you got it. If you can't look in the mirror in the morning, or you start wearing yellow hats and pink hats and in public, you like to wear your old lady's underwear, that kind of stuff. Those are some of the signs of Caucaphobia. I don't know if it's just a phobia that has gripped you people of Canada. You people kind, the people kind of Canada, you people kind. Yeah, crazy stuff. So now that the election's over and stuff, just to get a little serious, I like to watch a number of guys with their vlogs and stuff. Critical thinker, the Raging Humanist is great. I like that guy, and he's one of our living veterans. And there's a number of people. I watch Ellie's Place, so I know I'm not a transphobe, and I know I don't have cockaphobe. Now, would a masculine Caucasian gay man have cockaphobe? No, probably not. But these are the questions, that the Communist Broadcasting Corporation or Crown Broadcasting Corporation and stuff. These are some of the questions, like if that you end up asking yourselves if you listen to this stuff, because I believe that they broadcast all these phobias through so many megahertz and signals through the TV, which is why I don't subscribe to CBC. I had to shut down the TV. I mean, especially too, like a number of years ago, they got rid of the antennas, so you can't watch CBC because they went digital. And then they're saying, okay, through the satellite company, everybody can have one for a certain limited time, and otherwise you got to pay for it. And this, I'm like, hang on a second, what's so bad about antennas? You put your antenna up and you can watch TV. On the antenna, I can get, I can still get Spokane, I can get LA News, a number of stations. But I'm not really much of a TV watcher. But what I wanted to get serious about was mankind. Mankind. Now, as you've heard me say, the legal society, they can only maintain a position. The legal society, and like I've read this in laws and stuff, where or statutes and policies and actions. Well, if an officer believes, well, the only way an officer can believe is if there's a man or a woman holding the office. okay? Because the office isn't alive. It doesn't exist in the three-dimensional world. It always takes a man or a woman to enact or act as the officer to put this into function. So you have let's put mankind here at the top. All right, and I'm going to put creator, right? Okay, because no matter what, mankind, whether you believe in evolution, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in, it doesn't matter what your beliefs are, only man can believe. And a belief is very, very fluid. Now, we all know that we're made out of, 90 some odd percent water. I've heard, different 70 some odd percent water to 90% water. And water is very fluid. And so is mankind's beliefs. Like, I was listening to a lady that was been being hacked on by CBC. Of course, CBC, right? Hacking on a woman that used to be a Muslim woman that didn't like the oppression of her situation, so she got out of it. And I think she became a Christian. And then she was talking about, how a Christian woman changed her beliefs and became a Muslim woman. Now, I believe that everyone, okay, not you people, not people kind, but everyone, all right, stems from the one. And look, my buddy Carl Lentz, and I will put a link to his site in the description. But my buddy Carl preaches this, and he's been preaching this for quite a while. I'll give you a bit of a spiel on him because there's a lot of controversy around him. But I've known this man for it's starting to go towards a decade. I have seen this man in operation. I have witnessed by within my own actions and those that I have helped out over the course of the years when they're having problems with the establishment. I have witnessed the standing of mankind with the establishment. Now, I will say the legal society, okay, because pretty much the legal society seems to run everything, right? But so mankind, only man can believe. Is it backwards? It is, isn't it? Okay. No. I have a little dyslexia. I think my daughter got that from me. Anyways, we know what believe is, right? And maintain. Okay, so mankind can believe, but to maintain a position, you need to be acting as a person. Because a person is something that is created by man, and then so there's a mandate of the person. It's like okay, so you get married, right? And within your own beliefs of marriage, right? So you have a man and woman that come together and now become as one, right? And this is why I don't understand the poor treatment towards the husband, the man who acts as a husband, or the woman who acts as a wife, from one or the other, because you're just treating yourself. It's like self-hate. It's like you are now one with double the trouble because you two became one. And within the belief of Christianity and Judeo-Christian, it's you become as one flesh. So, the poor treatment from one to the other is just like self-abuse, self-hatred, right? And there's probably a phobia for that too. I'm sure CBC will. No, they won't, because that's too much. That's too much towards mankind. The CBC, to me, from what I've seen, from what I've witnessed, they only seem to like to promote whatever divides folks. Like it's not good enough to be a white or a Caucasian lesbian woman. Because you're not a visible minority black Caucasian or black lesbian woman, right? So that trumps to CBC, that trumps the white lesbian woman, which trumps the woman, right? Because hey man, they gotta get this. Like, wow. I mean, it's like these. Anyways, here's what I believe about those guys, and I'll shut up about those guys and just go on with what I originally, my original intent was of this video. For the establishment, now I'm not just talking about Canada, we're talking about like world domination here, which seems to be happening quite a bit. Okay, so for the establishment, the globalist establishment, for them to end the free world, they have to end free speech. They have to shut down free speech. Like, have you guys noticed that, like, the attack on free speech, it started with the last Liberal government, and then it kind of took a pause during the time we had the Conservative government, and now it's full bore again, And I'm not saying that the last Conservative government was, all the greatest and wonderful thing, right? But there was a sense of kind of normality with them, and I know the economist that held that office, who did act as that person as Prime Minister, was an economist, and I know he worked on Agenda 2030 and all that stuff. Those are other topics. So CBC seems to maintain the position. So CBC, what is CBC? CBC is an organization or corporation that is built up of mankind. I mean, CBC can't put anything else out unless there's a cameraman or a camerawoman, a journalist, man or woman acts as a journalist. A producer who sets a narrative and tells them how they have to report things, and so it takes a man or a woman behind the scenes for everything. So, like, one of the problems we have, I notice quite abundantly, is we don't hold Bobby, Sue, Joe, Ellen accountable for their actions. What we do is we bitch a lot about CBC. We bitch a lot about the Prime Minister. We bitch a lot about the Senate. We bitch a lot about, Now I know when, like for instance, when there's a conservative body, basically serving, the nation or serving. What should also be a nation, which we call province, but our lack of us being able to get together for 10 minutes to build a constitution that came from the ground up, that has standing because it was empowered by the people of the land. Well, we're not going anywhere, guys. Another story, but you'll hear them a lot attack like Doug Ford. And I'm not a Ford fan, and I'm not a Ford hater. It is what it is. I mean, Ontario's a freaking mess. Just a mess. Financially. But you don't hear about the premier this and the premier that. You hear Doug Ford, Doug Ford, Doug Ford. And then if you mostly, unless you're, you know, in line or something, but mostly you'll hear the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister, right? But, okay, so, you know, no matter what you believe, everyone believes there's a creator. And mankind is part of this one creation, all right? So we are part of the one. You know, a lot of people like to say individuals, but I like to say, you know, I'm the one. I am one of mankind. You know, everyone of mankind, which I like a lot better than people kind or you people. You know, and even when Jerry was talking, I said, maybe I should have said everyone. What do you got to do here? You know, like, what's with all the hurt feelings? Well, there again, we are under attack for our free speech. The only way that this nation that we call Canada, that we identify as Canada, can be taken down, right, is ultimately knocking out free speech. Now you see a lot of it going on around the world, you know, attacking, you know, everyone or you know, someone of mankind that voices their opinion that the establishment doesn't like. So, like, free speech is something that everyone is going to have to stand up for. Like, if you lose free speech, right? Everyone is done. You know, free speech is a must for freedom, for mankind. So, so only man can believe, and so you got a man here, and you got a person here. Now, a man can be a person, but a person is not a man. Right, so like say as husband again, okay? I can be a husband, okay? But a husband can't be me, or can't be I. Excuse me. I try to refrain from using that legal term, me, you know? But a person, a husband can't be I. Because it doesn't exist. It doesn't live. It's not alive. It takes a man or mankind. Now, when I say man, I mean mankind. Man. So it takes a man to act as a person. Now, slavery, because we believe that slavery is wrong. And slavery is outlawed in all its forms on this land. So can you enslave man to act as a person? We are so dumbed down. We are so worried about caucaphobia that we forget the basic rules of life. Like when you're going down the street, like, are you an angry person? Are you a courteous person? Are you a hateful person? What type of person are you at the time when you act? And I think if we reflect on what type of person we wish to be, then we'll start to act, you know, better as mankind. Or do you have no beliefs? Like, do you believe? I've never met anyone alive that didn't believe something. I mean, you'd have to be brain dead to not be able to believe something. It was like, oh, what's that? I never even seen that show. They shouldn't even show that. What's that show? It's like that, you know, that group of women, cackling old women down in the States that are always going on about everything. We got a Canadian version now? Oh my God. I wonder if the ratings went up because, you know, and they have caucaphobia. It's obviously have caucaphobia. My niece, okay, my brother's daughter, she played, her brother grew up in hockey, and he got invited to camps and so on. He was quite good. But my niece, okay, she's just a shorty. But she had to play because there was, she had her choice. She could actually, and this is what I love about Woman's Lib. She had a choice whether she could play with the Pee-wee boys or the girls. Or I think there wasn't a Pee-wee girls team, so she had to play with the boys for a while. Like, she's in university right now. I think she's like 5 feet, if she's lucky. Right? But this young woman, all right, I went and saw her. No, she played, man. So, like, she obviously doesn't have caucaphobia, right? Like these hags that I've seen on that stupid show, you know, and she kicked ass. Now, when she did become to the age, now this is what I believe, you know, to be correct, but when she did come to the age where she could have went into chicks hockey, she didn't. She stayed with the guys for a little bit longer. Now, guys used to underestimate this 5 foot nothing or 4'11". Like she, you know, she's whoop, she's short, and oh yeah, no, boys, no. If she gloves off with that girl, oh yeah, she didn't take no shit. So how come she can have more intestinal fortitude than these whiny, you know, things on TV? Because she wasn't promoting to extinct free speech. You know, the hatred of free speech is the hatred of mankind. You have, okay, where's that thing? I got enough time for this on this stupid thing? Okay, but anyway, so I do want to get serious about this, and what I wish to do is lead into, I know it's crazy, what I wish to do is lead into, you know, on dealing with the establishment. I've talked to a number of folks that, you know, there was one guy online the other day, and it's like, well, I wrote him 37 letters, and you know, talking about somebody from the establishment or public service, and I wasn't quite sure what office or corporation or corporate body politic that or ministry that this man was writing to. But my lack of like, there's no cell service up here, so you know, when I'm tripping around day to day trying to eke out a meager living, I'm not able to, you know, tweet somebody or whatever in my day-to-day lives. And actually, guys, I'm really thankful of that. Some of these guys, man, they really, that's all they do. You know, they walk around like it's I am a robot. I am one of you people. I got to find somebody to hate today because I have caucaphobia. You know. So, shit. I lost my spot there. But yeah, the idea now is for me to get serious and, you know, bring back the basic principle of who am I? And who am I on this land? And who am I to you? And who are you to I? All right. Now, once a man or a woman, see, this is why the establishment doesn't wish for you to believe anything, except for the narrative that they wish to brainwash you and rot your brain with through the Communist Broadcasting Corporation and the likes thereof. Right? They wish you to get entangled in a whack of legal crap. Stuff you're not even competent to partake in. And I'm not calling anybody stupid. It's just that unless you are a bar, unless you are a union card carrying member,